did you see the new neighbors moved in? And my mom's like, oh, yeah, yeah. And she goes, no kids, no dogs.
Dear Shandy. Welcome back to Dear Shandy, listeners. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing okay.
Doing okay.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Oh, I was
lace.
just...
You wore lace.
Yeah, lace, but I was just actually bitching about jeans.
Oh, yeah.
Just before we got rolling.
Well, jeans, as I was saying, were made for work.
Mm-hmm.
They were made for labor because
Yeah.
you can't do hard labor in the 1800s with normal slacks. They'll get all ripped up and dirty. You want to have like a tough pant.
Yeah, I just don't understand how over the years they've become associated in any way with comfort.
It's honestly one of the strangest things ever.
Yeah.
I think it's really an American thing. Like jeans symbolized America, like the hardworking
America.
American, the gold digger.
Oh.
I mean, the literal gold digger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but the jean has become the pant of America.
But why? Like, why the jean?
It's
There are
not
so many
comfortable.
better, more comfortable.
It's generally not comfortable.
I-
It's not warm on a
No,
cold day.
no,
The
it's
wind
like-
goes right through
It's
it.
like wearing paper in
Yeah.
winter. Yeah, it's
Yeah, you
terrible.
can't sit cross-legged.
No, I was
comfortably.
just adjusting, and these are like these have stretch in them, and I was just like, I had to switch pillows that I'm sitting on. I was like, damn, and they like dig in when you're sitting. I mean, jeans, man, jeans.
The damn Levi company.
Was it
the
Levi's?
Strausses.
Was it them?
Levi Strauss. Was it a man, Levi Strauss? Or was it like two families, the Levi's and the Strauss, and they got together and they're like, we can do this
Oh, I feel
together.
like it was Levi Strauss. Like
It was a man, Levi Strauss.
Yeah,
That's a cool name.
that is a badass, and no wonder he was like, I got to do something with his name.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if jeans are as popular as they are because
of
his
that
name was so cool.
Yeah,
I think a lot of products are like that.
yeah.
They became a thing because the name was so cool.
Name
It just
one
stuck.
other example. You asked
Don't
for
put
it.
me on the spot. Gotta be something. Hershey's.
Oh, good one.
Yeah,
That just-
Hershey's is not a good chocolate bar.
no.
Hershey's is at best an average chocolate bar.
I
At best.
would argue Hershey's is the worst chocolate bar. Like, I would rather buy some random no name. Like I am just really rolling the dice on a chocolate bar than get Hershey's.
Yeah, you've spoken a lot about your ire towards the Hershey family, but that's a good one.
Yes, excellent example.
Because if his name was like Perlman,
doesn't have the same ring.
no.
So before we get going with this Q&A, I would like to put out a notice to the Shandies that we are preparing our 2024 in review episode. And in this episode, we answer what our bests of 2024 were or worsts.
Yeah, or worse.
Yeah. So if there's anything, like if you want to know the best book you read or the best restaurant you ate at, or we love silly ones too. We love silly questions.
Silly are the best.
Yeah, silly are the best. So if you want to, I don't know, ask us about the year, what our thoughts are, then please submit those questions. You can do that by DMing us on Instagram or emailing us, and then we will select our favorite ones for that episode.
All right.
Okay, Andy. Well, despite what it might seem like we're just talking about whatever, but today is actually a Q&A day where we answer our listeners, our dear Shandy's questions, relationship questions.
Let's do it.
Shall we get to it?
Yeah.
Great. All right. This first question is from K, as in the letter.
Mm-hmm.
Every kiss begins with
Okay. Oh, not the right note.
Dear Shandy, my name is Kay, 25 female, and I am getting married next summer. My maid of honor, let's call her M, recently told me that a good friend of ours who will be at the wedding is struggling with alcoholism. I do not want a dry wedding, but M is now worried that having alcohol at the wedding might be too tempting for our other friend. I told her that I should not have to make a huge adjustment to my day just to accommodate one person's needs. However, M seems to think that serving alcohol is inconsiderate and would make me a bad friend. This has started a bit of a fight between us. Am I the asshole for not wanting to accommodate this friend? Am I just supposed to make every social event for the rest of time alcohol-free to accommodate this one person? Thank you in advance, Kay.
This person is an absolute monster.
Wait, which one? Which one?
What do you think?
Oh, I mean, I know what you think.
What is this?
M.
Is this a serious question?
The maid of honor. You think the maid
What
of
a monster.
Well, I'm sure M, the maid of honor, would say that she's being considerate towards their other friend. I wonder if she's closer with this other friend than Kay is. There's something else going on here, doesn't it feel like? Because to me, I agree with you on the surface. This is absolutely absurd.
Everyone should suffer.
Yeah, well, and it's her wedding. It's Kay's
her
wedding.
wedding. It's even-
if she wants to serve alcohol, she can serve alcohol.
Regardless, even alcohol is a terrible thing. If you totally disagree with the concept of alcohol, it's her wedding, as you said. It's her wedding.
Yes. The fact that M is making her feel bad about this, do you think there's something else going on here, or are we just going to take it at face
there's
value?
something. Clearly, this is like a proxy for some other beef that's going on.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's not even a respectable proxy.
I don't know. Is this what's happening now? Is this like, does everyone not serve alcohol at their wedding because of
Is
one
that a
person?
thing? Is this
I don't
like
know.
a generational thing?
Is
Like
it?
alcohol is not what it used to be, and now it's like a fence call. And if it's a fence call, why serve alcohol if someone's got a real alcohol problem?
To me, this question is so black and white that I'm speechless. Like, I think we've already answered it.
It's like literally if like I'm gluten free and I go to someone's wedding, I'm like, I would appreciate if you don't have cake here. Or not me. I mean, I guess I'm not the one asking. It's my friend.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
Andy's gluten free. You shouldn't have a cake at your wedding. I also think this is a talking to. I think this M needs a talking to.
It's her maid of honor.
I think she needs a talking to. This is not something that she can just be like, no, I'm going to serve alcohol. Like, I'm sorry, it's my wedding. I want to serve it. I think this is a sit down talk. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
That sounds productive, Andy.
Yeah.
At the risk of sounding heartless, I think that when someone is struggling with addiction of sorts, that is their struggle. You know, I think it's very courteous of the people around them to choose venues or adjust, what their habits when they're in that person's presence. But I think it's simply asking too much to expect their mutual friend to not serve alcohol at her entire wedding. I'm sorry.
And this is a crowd thing. Like if it was 3 people, if it was just her, this maid of honor, and this friend, and they were on a boat, they were going on a little sailing trip.
Totally.
So yeah, have club soda.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Sparkling raspberry soda.
Oh, it sounds good.
Yeah, no alcohol.
The mocktail scene is very strong right now.
Yeah, very strong. And you don't need to drink on a boat.
No.
I find drinking on a boat gets a little nauseating.
I love that that's what it came back to. I got to agree. I don't think drinking on a boat is ever a good idea.
Yeah, that's why I find these cruises.
And on a plane. Too.
But yeah, once the crowd gets above, I would say 5 close friends, that's out the window. One individual's needs, I think, are out the window. They have to deal with it.
Yeah, or
they're an adult. They can deal with it. Life happens around them. They have to learn to live with it.
Yeah, that's part of their
That's part of their journey. That's part of the struggle. Everyone has a struggle.
Yes.
Like if I walked out the door every day and expected the whole world to just accommodate me in all the ways that I struggle, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that was the shortest answer of all time. I think we've answered it.
No.
All right. This next question is from Anonymous. Dear Shandy, thank you so much for your thoughtful opinions and engaging banter. I absolutely love your podcast and look forward to hearing your voices every week. Thank you so much, Anonymous. I'm writing in with a very 2024 question, and I'm hoping your opinions can help me figure out if I'm overreacting or not. I, 24 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 28 male, for almost 2.5 years. He is so caring, loving, thoughtful, and a grounding force in my life. I am very energetic, passionate, and sensitive. My boyfriend balances me out perfectly, and I truly feel at peace when I am with him. We did long distance for several months while I finished school and are now back in the same city and have been talking about moving in together in the near future. I feel very lucky to have him, and I don't believe he would ever do anything to hurt me. Andy?
I believe he would.
Oh, Andy, no, that wasn't what you were supposed to say. You were just supposed to say, but.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Sorry,
You took that in a dark place.
Sorry.
That being said, I have been getting more and more annoyed with his behavior on Instagram, specifically with him following Instagram models. I first noticed this about a year into our relationship when I casually started looking at his following list out of curiosity. I was shocked to see that he followed multiple scantily clad Instagram girls, think 40 to 50 different accounts. I brought this up with him, to which he replied that he had been, quote, cutting down on these accounts in his following now that he has a girlfriend, and agreed it isn't appropriate to have a feed full of mostly naked women when he has a girlfriend. When I inquired about why he was following them in the first place, he was unable to give me an answer. I dropped it at the time, but a few weeks ago I was bored and looked through his following again. I'm asking for it, I know. I saw that he was still following around 30 of the same accounts.
He's cut it down. Slowly whittling it down.
You got it from 40 to 50 down to 30. Wow. I tried to
That's
make
an appropriate number. He's gotten to an appropriate number, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, 30 is reasonable.
I tried to make myself clearer when addressing it this time and said that I was super uncomfortable with him following any of these accounts and I would like him to unfollow them all. He said he would do so, but is still following around 10. 10 of these women to this day. Oh my God, this guy's a piece of work. My boyfriend has also...
I mean, look, you got to give it to him. He's going in the right direction.
My boyfriend has also mentioned on occasion that he thinks it is unfair that celebrities can get a response from hot Instagram women just by DMing them, but quote, average Joes like himself would never get the opportunity to have a chance with women like that. Honestly, the whole thing makes me feel insecure and that he doesn't appreciate me because I don't look like the stunningly gorgeous women he sees on his feed every day. Am I overreacting, Shandy? Should I let it go or should I bring up the issue again and insist that he unfollows all of the accounts this time? Andy, why do men in relationships follow these girls at all? Any advice would be appreciated. I feel like I'm going a bit crazy and I'm too embarrassed to bring this up to anyone in my real life. Love to you both, Anonymous.
All right. This is what I'm going to say. There's a few things I have to say about this. One is I'm aging myself out of whatever the social norms are for Instagram. I'm not sure. Maybe nowadays it's okay for guys to follow 50 Instagram models. I don't know. To me, it seems a little wrong, a little creepy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm in a position to judge anymore. I don't know what the status quo is. But I think just based on me, from my generation of pre-following 50 Instagram models, it's a little excessive. This is something else I will say. If you live in a home that you love and you plan on never leaving, you plan on being wheeled out of that home in a coffin one day.
Yes.
Totally happy with that scenario.
Yeah.
But you love looking at magazines or websites about home decor and home renovation. You watch TV shows about,
home renovations.
About what's the show you like? The one
Fixer Upper.
with Fixer Upper. You like a Fixer Upper. Does that mean that you don't want to live in your home? Does that mean that you don't like your home? Does that mean that you don't love your home? Guys like to look at pretty girls. That's never changed. It's never going to change. It's not that big an infraction, in my opinion, if he's looking at accounts of pretty girls. I think the infraction is that she asked him to stop and he's still doing it.
I think the infraction in general is the following. We've actually answered a question similar to this several years ago now, but it's interesting. I mean, I'm not surprised that, this is probably a theme in dating, but I think there's a difference. It's okay. For example, to use your home decor renovation analogy, let's say you're in the home of your dreams. You love this home. But, once in a while, you like to turn on Fixer Upper or some other home improvement show, or you want to scroll through a magazine because that's just the mood you're in, or you're looking for inspiration, or maybe you want to get off on some home porn.
Yeah.
But that to me is circumstantial. That's, I am doing this thing now. I think it's a different thing for when it's on your phone that you open several, probably, dozens of times a day with an app that maybe you might open also dozens of times a day to then just be faced with it. It's, I think that affects your brain. I think it affects your standards. If you're just being faced with scantily clad women who, by the way, don't even look like that.
I know.
That's the other thing. When she's like, how can I compete with these stunningly gorgeous girls? They're not there. I don't look, I'm saying it as someone who face tunes my own photos. No one really looks like that. Very rarely do they really look like that. So I think is an unhealthy thing for someone, especially a man who's, into women. He's being faced with that messaging that's attainable, that's natural. It's a natural thing for him to open his phone and be faced with that. I just think that it takes, what's the word I'm looking for? Willpower to not just eat chocolate cake at every meal.
You're basically touching on what I was going to get to in my third point.
Okay.
I had a list,
Okay.
which is that.
Sorry to steal your thunder.
No, it's fine. That was a good point. Those were good points you made. If you're following, that's a leap from doom scrolling and you just happen to be looking at pretty girls. Mm-hmm. So once you follow, you're saying, I want to see more of this particular person.
Yes. There's like almost a relationship built.
Right. It's the lowest form of relationship, but it still is something. And then the other thing is, how many people is he following in total? If he's following 51 people and 50 of them are Instagram models, that's a problem. Big problem.
Oh, so you're saying if he's following 2,000 people and now 10.
If he's one of those people who follows every single account
but what's your point in saying that? The fact that so few of the photos in his feed are going to be from those girls because they're like,
well, it's also just like he's not
obsessively
just following these pretty girls. He's following a lot of people, but that's splitting hairs.
Yeah, to me it's kind of like a matter of respect.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the advice part of this. I think Anonymous should be pretty explicit about how this makes her feel so that it doesn't come off as controlling. Like, I don't want you hanging out with those people. I don't want you having those friends. I don't want you talking to your ex-girlfriend. This is not that. This is not a real relationship. All he's doing is creating unfair and unrealistic expectations for what the opposite sex looks like for himself.
It's not healthy to be constantly
inundated,
obsessing over.
Well, we don't know if he's obsessing, but nonetheless,
following 50 is pretty obsessive.
Well, now he's down to 10.
That's true. He's down to 10,
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Such a champ. Okay, can we talk about that sentence he said that it's unfair that celebrities
that's the
get to slide into the DMs of these beautiful
That's the big
women?
problem. The big problem here is to sort of poke holes in my house analogy is that it doesn't sound like he wouldn't move to one of these houses in a second if he had the opportunity or the money.
Oh, I don't want to say that though.
Why did he say that?
Maybe she's putting too much weight on something he said in passing. But he has also mentioned on occasion that he thinks it's, quote, unfair.
That's a little weird.
On occasion, that sounds like it's more than once.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
Why is he saying that?
Well, maybe... I bet you he would be less likely to say it if he weren't following so many women and being faced with that all the time, right? Like, he is only hurting himself. And I'm sorry, that's a reality of life. Is it so shocking that like a billionaire marries a supermodel?
Yeah.
Like and the supermodel marries the billionaire? Like, are we all going to pretend that that's not a thing that doesn't exist?
I got to be honest, this guy sounds a little annoying. Master this and master that. Don't masturbate, just masterclass.
Indeed, Andy. Masterclass. You can really, truly master things. I mean, what better gift could you give than the gift of knowledge?
We live in a time where there are a lot of problems with the time living technologically.
Yes.
A lot of problems.
Yes.
You got the social medias and the this and the that and the textings. And But masterclass is what the internet was created for. We live in a time where you can press a button and you can have some of the most world-renowned experts in their field teach you what they know.
How incredible is that? All in one place. It's really such a good idea.
From your couch.
Yeah.
Or from the toilet.
You know what I love about master? Oh, it could be from your toilet, by the way.
But probably a lot of masterclasses are watched on the toilet, and these people on their toilets are becoming amazing people.
Well, they're certainly becoming more knowledgeable. So Masterclass is an online streaming platform where you can learn from 200 plus of the world's best. You can learn from Martha Stewart about turning passion into achievements. You can learn about creative writing from Margaret Atwood. I mean, not only is this just such a great idea, it's also wonderfully highbrow.
And we have a couple that we're going to watch next on our docket. And mine is Neil deGrasse Tyson's How to Think Scientifically.
Yes, and mine is voice acting with Nancy Cartwright, who does the voice of Bart Simpson, among many, many others. I've always been interested in voice acting, and I'm just so excited. Like, I didn't know that was even a thing. Like, normally you would just be like reading, like Googling, like who knows how to learn from Nancy Cartwright herself. Like, I know who Nancy Cartwright is. It's so cool.
Can I tell you one of the most impactful moments of my early life was finding out that Bart Simpson was voiced by a woman.
And I love the versatility of this because maybe someone spends most of the time at their computer, or maybe on their phone. You can stream this from your phone, from your smart TV, from your computer, even on audio. So let's say you are the kind of person that, I don't know, drives a lot. You can be learning while you drive. It's so cool. So Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes as much as 50% off.
Head over to masterclass.com/Shandy for the current offer.
That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/Shandy, masterclass.com/Shandy.
So, Sharleen, it must be said, I have been sleeping with someone for the last several years.
Yeah.
And I find it incredibly satisfying and cozy. Because I have been sleeping in my Cozy Earth pajamas, in my Cozy Earth sheets.
Yes.
With my Cozy Earth pillows covered in my Cozy Earth pillow sheets.
Pillowcases, yes.
Oh.
You've been drying your body after every shower with Cozy Earth towels. So Cozy Earth, their products are made from viscose from bamboo, making them unbelievably soft yet durable. I mean, look at this pajama set you're wearing right now. It is so soft. I love it. You know what it is? Squishy soft.
Squishy soft.
You know, some things are soft, but it's like starchy soft. Like it's not really soft. It's just like soft to touch, but it's not soft to the feel. These are squishy soft.
And I have not been any better about cutting my toenails, but I have yet to rip my Cozy Earth sheets.
I think that might have been TMI, but yes, Andy has ripped many a sheet before. Regular cotton sheets, you rip it's like scissors. Your toenails are like scissors.
Well, you need a weapon.
And is there any better gift than the gift of coziness, of comfort?
Human beings strive for comfort in everything they do.
It's
Let's
the
face
goal.
it, everything you do in life is the goal is comfort.
Yes, the pursuit of comfort.
So make it easy for yourself. Get the baseline comfort.
Yeah.
Get Cozy Earth and be done with it.
So want your Cozy Earth pajamas by Christmas? Order by December 13th for free shipping.
Missed it? You can still get expedited shipping until December 20th to ensure it arrives in time.
Don't wait. Head to cozyearth.com/Shandy and use our code Shandy to save up to 40% off.
Give the gift of luxury this holiday season at cozyearth.com/Shandy.
And if you get a post-purchase survey, be sure to let Cozy Earth know that we, Dear Shandy, sent you.
I gotta be honest, this guy sounds a little annoying.
He does.
Like, that's an annoying thing to say.
Yeah.
It's a spoiled brat. It's a naive thing to say. What is he talking
It's
about?
both like, who the hell are you? And also, what about your girlfriend?
Yeah, it's not
It's
fair
both of those.
that these amazing athletes can get paid money to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, what is he talking about? What does that mean?
Yes, I know.
What's wrong with this guy? Why is he slowly going down from 50 to 10? Everything about this guy is weird.
Yeah.
I'm trying, I tried, you know what? I gave him too much of the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to drop the hammer on this. This has got to stop.
Oh, is the hammer being dropped?
This got to stop. But so it would be one thing if he was following all these people and then his girlfriend said, I'm not into this. And he just like, you're right. This is weird. And he felt embarrassed almost. He's like, yeah. I would be embarrassed if I got caught following that many. What do you call them?
Instagram models.
They're Instagram models.
What do you call them?
I don't know. I was thinking thirst trap models. Anyway, but I would be ashamed. I'd be like, oh, you caught me. And then I'd be like, oh, well, look at me. Look at me. What am I doing? I'm a grown man in a relationship. And they would be gone. I would show her the phone. I'd be like, look, and they'd be gone.
Yeah.
He's slowly paring down.
Yeah, and she has to go and look and find out.
It's very weird.
That's sad. She's 24 years old. Like, I think that, women especially, I think, spend a lot of their 20s being insecure, that they're not pretty enough, they're not cool enough, they're not smart enough, they're not charismatic enough, they're not successful enough. And I just think that this is a breeding ground for her insecurities to be exploited.
Yes.
She says that he loves her. He would never do anything to hurt her. So he can put his money where his mouth is and not follow any of these Instagram models. And okay, if he wants to go and jack off one time, then he can go and find something. Okay. I'm not saying that he's not allowed to.
There's plenty to find.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's not allowed to do that. I just think that it's unhealthy in day to day when that's not your purpose of seeking it out. That's not your purpose. You're not masturbating. You know, that you're just like on the subway. No, you don't need to look at that. I'm sorry, you don't.
Look, my initial point is that generally speaking, heterosexual men like to look at pretty girls.
Yes.
And that may never stop. They could be like 95 years old and still scoping pretty girls,
like
even though they
creepy man in the park that time.
I know. The guy
my God.
hovered over you with his walker. Guys like to look at pretty girls. They all do it. They all want to do it. But then there are obsessions. And when you are obsessed with attaining, he's obsessed with attaining. He even said it. He's like, why do they get to have it? Why can't I have it? What the hell is he telling his girlfriend that in the first place? It's crazy.
Too comfortable.
That's like saying the things you're thinking. Like, what is he talking about?
In a way, him saying that says it all.
I agree. That's why I'm harping on what he said.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, maybe he just said in passing. But no, that's important because he's obsessing about attaining these women. Even if he knows he can't, he's obsessing about it in his fantasies. And that's not good. That's not good because now I'm not sure he wouldn't jump houses if he had the opportunity.
Yeah.
He's living in this house because his income is forcing him to live in this house in his mind. And I'm not saying that. That's not me being mean. That's what he said to her.
Yeah. And the fact that he said it to her shows an inherent like lack of understanding of the dynamic of a romantic relationship, of like her sense of security, her sense of comfort in this. You know, the fact that he would be like, oh, yeah, why do they get that? It's like the thing you are ostensibly coveting by saying that is the thing your girlfriend represents.
Yes. And
it's not like a country home. It's not like another home.
No, it's very bad.
You can have two homes. You don't have two girlfriends.
The thing he said is very bad.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going to say about this. He has to stop following all of these people immediately. And he has to, I think he should apologize because there's plenty of time to sit on the internet and scroll and find a pretty girl doing something. He doesn't have to follow them. Yeah. That's obsessive and that's disrespectful.
That's like living in the beautiful home that you love and you decorate the beautiful home with photos of homes that you...
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like it's
right.
All the photography in the home is of homes that you kind of secretly maybe think are better than your home.
Yeah, and
I don't know if that's true, but that's how it seems.
And maybe you don't even decorate your home properly because you're just like, I gotta live here.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't deserve good furniture.
Maybe you're not tending to your home well enough and really investing in your home.
You got leaks in the plumbing. You're like, whatever.
That's kind of how it feels. Okay, wow. I didn't mean to cast so much doubt on this relationship.
No. And this is the thing. Like, it's easy to be black and white about this, but this guy might be a great guy and he has this one weakness.
Yeah.
And everything else in the relationship is good.
Clueless.
Guys are allowed to look at pretty girls. The same way women are allowed to look at pretty guys.
Yeah, I do know.
No one should complain about that.
Yes.
That's just the thing.
Yes.
But you are not allowed to obsess about it. In a relationship where your partner is asking you to stop obsessing about it, particularly.
Yeah. And the word obsess, you keep using the word obsess. I don't even know if it's obsessing. To me, the thing that bothers me is almost the passive receiving of it. Like it almost doesn't even feel active. That's what bothers me. At least make it active. At least be like, okay, I am jacking off. I'm going to like get some material. That's active to me and it's circumstantial. What bothers me is when it's just like, it's just you're like it's coming to you. That bothers me.
I'd almost respect him more if he said, no, I'm following 50 Instagram models and it will stay at 50. I am not moving it.
Well, because then he would be honest about it.
Yeah, at least he'd be like, I have a thing. This is my thing. I'm being honest with you.
This is my thing.
Yeah.
This is my thing.
Yeah, you like buying shoes. I like looking at Instagram models. You know, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Go to hell.
Oh, sorry, Anonymous. I think you should just be really honest about how insecure this makes you, because if he really is so caring, loving, thoughtful, and grounding, as she put it, I think he would have no issue unfollowing.
Yeah. And put your foot down. This is a foot putting down situation.
I would agree. All right. Good luck. Okay. Are you ready for one that kind of sort of builds on that idea?
Sure.
All right, this next one is from C, as in the letter she wrote.
Aww.
Dear Shandy, I have a 12-year age gap between me and my husband. I am 28 and he is 40. We have been together 4 years and married 1. I have only been with one other guy sexually while he has had a lot of partners. I check his phone regularly when he isn't looking. I know it's not healthy, but it's just become an addiction. We don't have sex often, and my sex drive is at an all-time high. He barely initiates. However, he looks up porn stars on Instagram daily, watches porn, and constantly Facebook stalks girls he has been physically intimate with in the past. I have read his past texts, and he always has been very sexually active and craving sex. I love she's read his past texts.
Yeah, how much digging in his phone has he done?
I know 100% he is not cheating on me, but it bothers me to my core that 1, we barely have sex. I have often been the one to initiate, and he often just goes through the motions and does not seem to particularly enjoy. 2, he never touches me or looks at me when I'm naked or in my underwear. He is a very selfish lover. 3, I can handle him watching porn and looking at naked women. I mean, I hate it, but it's fine. What I cannot stand is him looking at past partners' social media daily.
There we go.
I've even noticed recent screenshots of one of the women. 4, I found out through reading old texts that when he was in China 1 year before we met, he on multiple occasions went to the spa and paid $50 for sex. We love each other and have a great relationship otherwise.
I'm not sure she's as upset about the paying for sex as she is about how cheap it was.
Do I bring this up or let it go? I feel like we are both in the wrong. Me for constantly violating his privacy and looking through his phone, and him for looking up women and not telling me about him engaging in prostitution. I had asked him when we got engaged if there was anything I should know about before we got married. I know that's broad, but I wish he had told me. There have also been prostitution scandals in the media lately, and I casually brought it up, and he said that's illegal and dirty behavior, and he would never do that.
Aww.
I just can't get over my man's past. Any advice would be lovely. C.
I'm going to make an overreaching statement here about what's happening, I think, in the country and probably the world, maybe even worse outside of the country. Our dopamine has been taken hostage by these monstrous phones.
Yes.
And within that, our sexual dopamine and all the chemicals that come with that, our love chemicals, have been taken hostage by the immense amount of high definition porn. And I'm not going to sit here and be some, Puritan about porn. Porn is fine here and there.
Porn addiction is real.
Porn addiction is 100% real, and it's an epidemic.
Yes.
As is phone scrolling. So now our reward system for life has been hijacked by the phone. Like we used to be like, oh, I want, career or love or a really nice interaction with a stranger or, a great meal. Now we're just like,
yeah. And if you wanted to know what your ex was up to, can you imagine how much more effort it used to take?
So much effort. You have to hire a private detective.
Yeah. Now just go on Facebook.
Go on Facebook. Secondly, the porn is a real problem, and it's getting worse, and it's not going to stop getting worse as far as I understand, based on the amount of the bounty that is out there.
Well, I think it's affecting how men behave in dating and whether or not they even leave the house.
There are so many reasons why it is unhealthy to obsess over porn. And again, I'm not anti-porn. I'm anti-porn obsession. I'm upset that many, many, many men in this country are obsessed with porn to the point where they can't appreciate their partner on a daily basis, where they look at their partner naked and they're like, I've seen better. Better last night.
Isn't that how it feels?
Yes. And that is
she's in her underwear and he doesn't even look at her.
This is so dangerous. I'm telling you, I know this is like, I'm sure on 5,000 podcasts, someone's yelling about this, but I'm telling you, this phone and the porn that comes with it is going to take our society down.
Yeah, the accessibility.
It's terrible. Yeah. People are going to stop having, not that not having kids is I think not having kids is fine. I'm just saying the reproductive rates are going to go down. Marriages are going to fail. People are not going to get married.
And people aren't even meeting.
Right.
They're not even meeting.
And again, I'm not some proponent of marriage. You can be single your whole life. What I'm saying is, on the average, people are going to stop having meaningful connections with each other. They're going to stop having families. They're going to stop wanting that. They're going to stop needing that because they have it right here. And what they don't realize is what's right in their hand is destroying them.
Yeah. They're a slave to it.
It's destroying their life. No happiness will come out of this.
No, they're miserable.
Happiness.
Does this guy
misery.
sound happy?
No.
Does he sound like he appreciates what he has? Which is, by the way,
it ruins
a wife
both.
Who's 12 years younger than him and has her sex drive is at an all-time high. And she's in her underwear and he doesn't even look at her. Like, what is wrong with this picture? This is unbelievable.
It's so awful. But and the irony is it ruins both. It ruins his porn and it ruins his relationship. Because his relationship is ruined because he can't attain the porn in his relationship. Yeah. And the porn is ruined because he's stuck in the relationship that he can't attain the porn with. They both are diluted.
Yeah.
There's no happiness here.
This guy has 2 lives. This guy, don't you think?
Yes.
I know that it gets more extreme than this. Like I've heard horror stories from friends where like they're dating a guy and then turns out he's got like a whole other girlfriend. Like it's like a double life kind of thing.
She says she's 100% sure he's not cheating.
Well, she's going through his phone enough to know. And
that's true.
It sounds like based on all the stuff on his phone that if he were cheating, she would find it because it doesn't seem like he thinks that she's looking at his phone.
Or maybe he's crafty enough to know that she's looking at his phone and he's like, oh, I'll show her all this porn stuff, but there'll not be a single text with somebody about,
oh wow, that's
really
that's
deviant.
really dark. You think? White God.
I know
I don't know if he's honestly. This guy doesn't sound like he's thinking that far ahead. I think he's like just mainly thinking about what he's gonna get off with next.
Yeah.
What's that movie? Who was that actor?
Shame. Michael Fassbender. Is that what you're talking about?
Is it that one? I was thinking about I thought it was Jake Gyllenhaal. Wasn't there one with Jake Gyllenhaal was like had a porn addiction?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it Jake Gyllenhaal? No,
I thought it was Michael Fassbender.
It was Michael Fassbender.
Shame? Is that the movie you're thinking of? Shame?
I know Shame is
he had more of a sex addiction.
Yes. Yeah, that was... there was another one. I could have... Maybe it wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal. It might have been someone else. But he looked kind of like Jake Gyllenhaal. I actually have no idea. But he had a porn addiction. And I remember watching that movie and really... like in your mind, you can be like, oh yeah, porn addiction is real. But that movie really made it real for me. Like it was very well acted.
All addictions are just they're chemical addictions, right? It's either dopamine or serotonin or whatever the chemical is.
Mm-hmm.
And porn is a strong dopamine addiction.
Yeah.
No different than like cocaine.
Mm.
And it doesn't do anything good for a relationship.
No.
In no way. The only way porn is good for a relationship is if you're kind of like both sexually inexperienced and you're like, oh, let's watch some porn.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll spice things up.
Yeah.
As you do it as a together thing.
Yeah. Gets you in the mood. It gets you like in a mindset.
Right.
And yeah.
Right. It turns you on. It shows you some ideas. You're like, oh, let's try that position.
Yeah.
Never tried that one. But if you do it on your own in excess, it's always a problem. It's never a good thing. No one has a porn addiction which is helping their lives, period.
Okay, so for C, do we have advice?
Yeah.
Because she says we're both wrong. I'm going through his phone. Oh, we haven't even talked about the actual sex, by the way.
I know. Got fired up about the porn and the phone.
I think that this sex, the paying for sex a year before he met her, I mean, I have many thoughts on that, but I actually don't think that's
sort of part of the bigger issue.
It's part of the bigger picture of like how he regards women.
Yeah.
I think that this guy is a hardcore misogynist. I'm sorry to say that. How can I not think that?
I mean, he likes objectifying women. There's
to
no
some
question.
degree. Yeah. And even now with his wife, it reminds me of that Sex in the City where Charlotte is, she's married to Trey still and he can't get it up for her. She thinks that he can't get it up, period. And she finds out that he can. And he apparently is like whacking off to jugs and whatever.
Jugs.
Yeah,
jugs.
Yes. And then they realize that he sees her as his wife, his clean, pristine wife. He doesn't want to have sex with that. He just wants to have sex with jugs.
Jugs. I think I may have seen a Jugs. When I was a kid, I may have like grabbed a Jugs magazine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I used to sneak porn magazines. And let me tell you something.
How old were you?
I was too young. I was like 12, 13. But I will say this, and I'm not saying that this is not a nostalgic thing.
Yeah.
But I will say the greatest thrill I ever got out of porn, and it wasn't the first time I did it, it was a consistent thing, was print porn. When I opened up a crisp new magazine, I was like, wow, this is it. It doesn't get any better than this. And in a way, it doesn't. Porn reached perfection in print. Once you put it in video, then it's literally real. You're watching real sex. You're now in it. You're now part of it. And that's where it goes from voyeurism to, I think, soft cheating.
Well, I definitely think there is some soft cheating happening in this relationship.
That's what I'm saying.
He's screenshotting exes.
He's soft cheating. This is not scrolling through high society porn magazine.
Yeah, and it's like, God, men. Oh my God. Like the fact that he's researching his exes, people he has been sexually active with in the past. It's not just like, oh, that girl's hot. Like the relationship is there. He has already had sex with them and he's keeping up with them. Like he's taking photos of them. Okay. So do we have advice for C? Because she feels that they're both wrong. She should not have been going through his phone, and you could argue that's true. But I mean, I think it's good to know this about your husband. And she's only 28. She's only 28.
Well, this is the problem. It's like she committed a foul, but then she found many
but the foul
fouls.
could give her freedom. The foul is she has gotten massive amounts of information, and I'm sorry, I would want to know this information about my husband. Period. You are owed this information about your husband. It's not her fault that he's not being honest. It sounds like he's lying at every turn.
Yeah, this is a tough one because then she has to admit that she went through his phone.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to be pissed at that.
Yeah.
He's not going to be like, oh, yeah, you did the right thing. I do have a lot of bad stuff on my phone.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big fight. He's going to be very upset.
Yeah.
And he's going to hold it against her. And it's going to come up again. He's like, oh, were you looking at my phone?
To me, I honestly think these two need some professional
I
help.
agree.
These two need couples therapy if they want this to work, because there is a lack of respect from him towards her. And now, for I think good reason, a lack of trust from her towards him. And they're not talking about it. He doesn't know that she knows. And it's possible that he knows that she knows and that she doesn't know that he knows that she knows. And there's just like this giant elephant in the room.
This is what I think, just to protect herself from looking like the bad guy in this conversation, I think she should sit him down and say, we need to have a serious talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's something wrong physically in our relationship.
Start there.
And I really want to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And don't let him off the hook.
Yeah.
Don't let him be like, yeah, let's talk about this tomorrow. Or like, oh, you're fine. You're beautiful. I love you. And then walk away. No, like be like, we're getting to the bottom of this. What's going on?
Totally.
And don't say I've been looking through your phone, because I honestly think what that sets the tone.
I know it's going to put him on the defensive, and then he's going to come at her. And
he's going to feel like the good guy. He's going to be like, well, if I looked at your phone, I'd probably find bad things too. And who doesn't have some bad things on their phone? Mm-hmm. I'm just a man who likes women, and all my friends look at porn, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. The fact that he responded when she brought up the sex scandal stuff, how he was like, that's illegal. It's dirty behavior. I would never.
Well, that's really weird.
Makes me think.
That's really weird.
That makes me worry that if she did confront him about what's on his phone, that he would go into like full-blown mayday, like lie, cheat, retaliate.
The benefit of her telling him that she went through his phone is to see his reaction. Mm-hmm. It's going to be costly. It's going to be a very unpleasant.
Well, you can't go back. You can't go back from
it
that.
should never go back, and it's going to be very unpleasant. But the way he reacts will be very, very telling. It's almost like a petri dish of what's happening here, like cultured a petri dish.
Yeah, and it'll be telling too about how much he cares about her. Will he just defend? Would he? Because we don't know if she's going to bring it up. And I don't feel comfortable telling her to tell him.
I don't either.
I think that they should. I think first she should start with, I don't feel like you are interested in me sexually. Like, I feel like it's always me initiating, and it's making me feel like you don't desire me. And then I think combined with that, they should go to couples therapy. And I'm sorry, if he is not receptive to either of these, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Period.
If their relationship was honky-dory.
Yeah.
And
she said, we love each other and have a great relationship otherwise. But the physical stuff is important. It is.
She wants, and she's young. She's like, they're not that far in. They're not like married 30 years.
Yeah. And there's, we love each other. We have a great relationship. I'm sorry, part of loving each other and having a great relationship is respecting each other. So him respecting her enough to not lie to her,
trust.
To not kind of sort of soft cheat on her. And then for her to trust him where she's not having to scroll through his phone every day. Like this at the foundation is rotten. She's like, okay, we have a great relationship, but the foundation that it's all resting on, to me, is rotten.
Yeah.
It doesn't have trust. It does not have respect.
It's a betrayal of trust. And as I said before, I do believe it's a form of cheating. I think there's a line you cross where it becomes cheating, because what cheating does is inherently it makes you respect your partner less. Yeah. It's like a vicious cycle. You cheat because you don't respect your partner, and then the cheating makes you respect your partner less, but it's deep in your sick mind. You're just like, oh,
I can get away with this.
I can get away with this. She's letting me do this. Yeah. Like I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I kind of get off on the fact that I'm getting away with it.
Yeah.
It's making it hotter than if I weren't getting away with it.
Yes. There's no emotional connection with what he's doing, sort of, but there's a deep sexual connection. He's satisfying that need completely outside of the relationship. To me, that is cheating.
Yeah.
And he is cheating on her. She found out, she looked in his phone and she found out he's a cheater and also a liar.
A liar.
I really do not respect the thing he said about the paying for sex. That's pretty low down and dirty.
Oh, about lying about, that's
and
illegal.
I'm not going to judge. Like, there have been millions and millions of men. Prostitution is the oldest business in the world.
Yes.
That's not the issue. The issue is that he has the nerve to talk about how it's so gross and disgusting. You would never approve of that. Come on.
This guy's a piece of work. Okay. Have we covered this one?
Yeah, I'm a little riled up. I'm really getting sick of these questions because they're coming more and more frequently.
We have not had these in a while. I just stacked them together because I thought they were related to each other. I didn't mean to make it like a dark Q&A.
Do you think, let me ask you this question, even if, I know they didn't have phones 40 years ago, but do you think even if they found like a stash of Playboys under the bed, do you think women would be writing in to a whatever radio station saying, oh, my husband doesn't respect me. He has Playboy magazines under the bed. How often would that happen? This wouldn't happen.
I mean, if you think about it, it would be...
Men will be men. That's what they would say. Boys will
back
be boys.
then, 40 years. Yeah. And also, the phone. The phone. It's all in there, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
The Playboys, at least you could like stuff it in different locations.
Yeah, you stuff. And also there's articles in there. Good articles. Excellent articles. I mean,
Short stories.
But the phone is the girlfriend now.
Yeah.
The phone. It's not even the porn.
It's the mistress.
It's the phone that is taking up the chemicals that should be being released when you spend quality time physically or emotionally with your partner.
Yes. That's where we will wrap this one. And before we wrap fully, I have to touch on the fact that she's 28. They've been together 4 years and she's only been with one other man. So since 24, she's been with this guy. She has this sexual experience of a 24-year-old who's, not necessarily been around much, like she doesn't have a lot of experience to be dealing with something of this scale. And that's why I really think they need a professional. She needs someone for her to have more like credibility and power through. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I feel like he is treating her like, she's beneath him.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Well, physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. See, sorry that this doesn't sound good. You had to know that we wouldn't think this sounded good. We wish you the best, all the good luck. You're definitely going to need support. So we implore you to find support. Professional support, especially, because I think that would really like strengthen your case.
And I feel like this is a sooner than later.
Yes.
Whether she has the talk or support, whatever
she's
happens.
28. She has so much life ahead of her. She's way too young. She is way too young to be walking around in her underwear and for her husband to not even be looking at her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's punishing her for only having one partner.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
He sees her. I think he sees her as pure and like not.
And also an amateur. Her job is not sex. Her job is just companionship.
Ugh. Okay, we'll move on.
Zombie cells, they're coming for you. They want to eat your skin. Zombie cells, they're coming for you and they'll kill you. They'll kill you. They'll kill you dead.
Okay,
without one skin.
No. Okay, so no, zombie cells will not kill you, but they are in your skin, and they're senescent cells, by the way. They are dysfunctional cells that affect the cells around them. That's why they have the nickname zombie cells. These senescent cells are proven to break down your collagen and compromise your skin barrier. I mean, these things contribute to aging. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could combat the zombie cells and prevent them from affecting the healthy cells around them? But also, you could literally reverse your skin's biological age if you got rid of them.
I mean, isn't that what people want to do?
Yes.
They want to get younger.
The fountain of youth.
Because you're not going to get younger on the inside, let's face it. The best way to get younger is on the outside.
Andy's wisdom of the day. So One Skin was founded by 4 scientists who all happen to be skin longevity scientists. And they have developed the OS1 peptide. This peptide, the entire skincare line is built around, because this peptide has been proven to turn off these aging senescent cells, these dysfunctional cells on the cellular level. So they literally reduce signs of aging inside Not just the symptoms, like literally the root, the cause.
So founded and led by an all-women team of skin longevity scientists.
OneSkin is redefining the aging process with their proprietary OS1 peptide, the first ingredient proven to help skin look, feel, and behave like its younger self.
Get 15% off with code Shandy at oneskin.co.
That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code Shandy.
After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them.
Support Dear Shandy and tell them we sent you.
Invest in the health and longevity of your skin with OneSkin.
Your future self will thank you. Andy, that head of hair, that defies a lot of reason right there.
I think you're just blowing smoke.
I'm not blowing smoke. Look at this head of hair. Look at my husband's hair. It's insane.
Well, thank you, wife. I owe this head of hair to a few things.
Genetics.
Genetics is one. But Prose is the thing that keeps this hair in shape the way a night watchman keeps a business safe.
A night watchman, like at the top of a tower?
No, I was thinking more of just a guy walking along the street. But that too.
So Prose is custom made to order hair care. This is major because usually, I mean, I know in the past I would just go and buy whatever, for fine straight hair. I'd be like, okay, it's my hair. It sounds like my hair. And then I would get whatever results. But what if you filled out an online hair consultation where you described your hair, what you would like your hair to be more like, and also your zip code, like where you live, because then maybe climate, water, hardness might play a role in how your hair is performing. Prose then combines their world-class team of in-house cosmetic chemists with an AI algorithm to produce a custom made to order hair care system for you. And there really is a difference. And by the way, this is so custom down to the scent. So let's say you're like, oh, I want it to be more floral, or I don't want any scent at all. That's how custom we are talking. And then it's shipped directly to your door. And you can see here is my shampoo, my custom shampoo, my smooth and vibrant shampoo. And you'll see that even our names, so my name is on this one, and our zip code, that is how custom we are talking. So Prose is so confident that they'll bring out your best hair that they're offering an exclusive trial offer of 50% off your first hair care subscription order by going to prose.com/dearshandy.
So take your free consultation, get your one-of-a-kind formulas,
and see the difference custom hair care can make at prose.com. That's prose.com/dearshandy. All right, this next question is from M.
As in?
It's a capital M, Andy.
Okay, got it.
Dear Shandy, love you both. I've been a reader since the Pretty Panda days, and it's been great to follow the evolution into such a successful podcast, singing and all. Oh, thank you so much, M.
Thank
Panda.
You. I like the ones who like the singing.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of singing recently.
I like the ones who are OG pandas. Do you think that there's anyone who listens that doesn't even know what that's a reference to?
I think like probably 75% of people.
That's cool.
Yeah. It morphed.
Yeah, it morphed into something else.
It metastasized.
Yes.
But can that word be used in a good context?
I don't know. It doesn't sound
okay,
good.
no, probably not good.
But if anyone has no idea what we're talking about, before this podcast, I had a blog called All the Pretty Pandas. And
great name.
I mean, I think so. Yeah. I think I come up with good names.
And if you know, you know.
Dear Shandy. How great is that
because
name?
I wanted to ask Shandy.
We had talked about Ask Shandy, which doesn't have the same.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Sounds cheap.
It doesn't roll off the tongue either. Ask Shandy.
I completely agree.
Meanway, Dear Shandy. It leads
Dear
into
Shandy.
It. Dear Shandy. Yeah, it's like a cool brand where all the vowels are removed. It's like Dear Shandy.
That's like that ambulance company I showed you the other day.
Oh, that was annoying.
Was it ambulance? Come on.
Or watermelon water.
Who's calling an ambulance because they have a cool no vowel name?
Okay, I have an am I the asshole question. My husband, 35, and I, 32, do not have kids. My husband's sister, 37, has 3 kids, ages 7, 5, and 2. We live halfway across the country from them and see them 1 to 2 times per year. The kids are young enough that I'm not sure if they really remember us / think about us at all between visits.
Unless they bring presents.
What?
Unless they bring presents.
Oh, well,
yeah.
We're getting
when I was a kid, honestly, kids are kids. They think about themselves. But when I thought about all my different family members, the one I was most excited to see, the ones I was always most excited to see were the ones that came bearing gifts.
What kind of gifts?
Any gifts, like sometimes candy or like a little toy.
Oh.
I mean, it wasn't when I was like 17. This is when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was always like, oh, Aunt Tilly's coming. What is she going to bring this time?
Oh.
And then there'd be some aunt who just comes and says nice things to me and squeezes my cheeks. And I'd be like, I don't need that shit.
That's incredibly
Next.
honest. Yeah, I mean, now that you mention it, should I be bribing my nieces and nephews with more presents?
I think
right
we've
now?
both been remiss in getting your.
We're not amazing. I'm going to be honest. I just I try to have conversations with them, and they're probably like, oh.
Well, that's the thing. I don't like to buy people's love.
Yeah.
Even if it's a kid. I want to earn it.
I've noticed you're like that with Ruby, actually.
I don't give Ruby treats.
Andy is very stringent with the treats.
She's got to love me for me.
Yeah. And what's funny is last night, okay, so Andy was out last night. Okay, quick story time. Andy was out last night, and I'm definitely the treat giver with Ruby because I have a lot of guilt that I'm not able to play with her. I'm always working or I'm out. I'm just like busy, and I'm not able to give her like the unadulterated, like just love that I feel she deserves. And so sometimes, and by sometimes I mean often, I will give her a treat, like something really high value that I think will occupy her for a long time. And last night I gave her this treat where like I had pre-frozen broth, and like it was supposed to take her a really long time to lick. And, there was so much prep into this treat. And I gave it to her thinking, oh, she's going to love me that I gave her this treat, right? And the second she was done with it, she was just like, all she wanted was more. And every time I went to the kitchen, she was like getting kind of aggressive. Like she just wanted more treats from me. And I was like, I felt used.
Yeah.
And I was like, stop it, until finally I had to just stop giving her treats. And then after about an hour, she was like, okay, this isn't happening. And then she curled up next to me. She loved me almost more for not giving her the treats.
Yeah. She respects you more.
She respected me more.
You become a vessel for food.
Yes.
You become a dispenser of food.
Yes.
You're no longer an emotional connection.
Oh.
I mean, she is connected to you. She's very connected, but she's like, I want that food.
Yeah.
But she doesn't see you for you.
Oh.
She sees you. You look like a big hamburger.
Or a hamburger dispenser.
Correct.
A frozen broth treat dispenser. Oh my God, I created such a monster. Anyway, that was my lesson learned last night. But how are we getting onto that? Oh, giving gifts to children.
Yeah.
I feel like
children and dogs.
Same thing. I'm sure no one will be offended by that.
There was once a woman who moved into, when I lived in, the place I grew up in.
Okay.
My mom's place in the apartment building. There was a neighbor we had. This old lady. Her name was Miss Applebaum. How old school is
Amazing. Applebaum.
Can you just picture Miss Applebaum?
Is it Applebaum?
Correct.
Okay.
As a German.
Yeah.
German Jewish, I guess. But Miss Applebaum.
Wouldn't it be like Apfelbaum?
Applebaum.
It would be Apfel though.
God, is this really important? Anyway, Miss Applebaum came out because there was a new tenant on the hall, and there were very few. This is not a high turnover building.
Okay.
Like you buy a place here, it's over. Like you're there until you're dead, pretty much. And Miss Applebaum.
I'm laughing because I think it's entirely true.
It is.
Like, I think literally every apartment that goes for sale in that building, the previous tenant died.
Yeah, it's basically an assisted living facility. So this new tenant comes in.
Okay.
Right? And Miss Applebaum comes by. She's one of those. Miss Applebaum gossips a lot, as would be expected of any Miss Applebaum.
Absolutely.
Who's going to gossip? Miss
Applebaum.
Oh, I heard Miss Applebaum told me. So anyway, she comes by, knocks on the door. This is important enough to knock on the door. She knocks on the door, and she says, and my mom answers it, and I'm like behind looking. I'm like, why is Miss Applebaum knocking on the door? It's going to be some juicy tidbit. And she goes, oh,
Wait, do you remember thinking that? She had
Miss
that much of a reputation?
She was a gossiper.
She
lived alone. And she just gossiped.
She was the building's gossip.
Yeah, well, the floor. It
the
was a big building.
Okay.
But the floor for sure.
Okay.
So she came over and knocked on the door. She said, oh, did you see the new neighbors moved in? And my mom's like, oh, yeah. And she goes, no kids, no dogs. I'll never forget that.
Wasn't she living alone? Did she have kids or a dog?
She was happy.
Oh, she was happy.
She was relieved. She was saying, like, celebrating. She's like, no kids, no dogs.
Oh, I thought she was judging them.
Oh, wow. I guess it works both ways.
Yeah.
But no, she was very happy.
Oh, that's so fun.
It was a relief because, but I remember about it.
Because you're a kid at this point.
Well, it was not
it's
just.
It's funny that she's saying it to your mom who was a kid.
Well, yeah, but it was also that I now was like, oh, I'm on the same level as a dog. Like it's interchangeable. It's like kids and dogs.
A dependent.
Yeah.
No dependence.
And part of me was like, that's pretty cool. I like dogs. And part of me was like, oh, it's a bit insulting. Anyway.
No kids, no dogs.
Yeah, you can see the excitement in her eyes.
Okay. Every year on Christmas and their birthdays, we take the time to send gifts and cards for the kids. This year, for the 5-year-old's birthday, we'll call him C, my husband wanted to buy him a jersey for a team that he likes. He asked his sister what size C would be in this specific jersey, and we purchased the size that she said would fit him. Once the gift arrived, she texted my husband and said it was too small and asked that he purchase a new one. They were sold out of the bigger size, so my husband ended up in a long back and forth exchange with my sisters, sending her different jersey options. She shut down many options until she finally agreed to one. She said she would return the initial one so that he would get a refund, but she never did. My question, am I wrong for thinking this is completely ridiculous? No. If I were in her shoes, I would have never mentioned that the jersey was too small and would have just saved it for my younger child who would eventually grow into it and not create such a hassle for everyone. It's not about the money, but more the feeling that this gift is so transactional to them and no longer has any sentimental meaning since she essentially chose the new present almost like it's owed to her. But am I being too critical? Is this maybe just a reflection of other annoyances I have with my sister-in-law? LOL.
Yes, and yes.
Very curious your take and the Shandy's take on the etiquette of gift giving like this. Is it best to be polite and not say anything, or is she within her rights to expect a new gift for her child? Appreciate your insight, M. This one cracks me up. I gotta say, when I first read this email, before I chose it for this, I laughed out loud with my question, am I wrong for thinking this is completely ridiculous? Because I had been thinking, spoiler alert for my answer, that it did seem a little ridiculous.
A bit ridiculous.
The jersey size was purchased based on what the sister had said would fit her son.
Yeah.
And of course, online shopping, it's always a risk. But it did sort of feel like this was made to be M's husband's problem more than I think it should have been.
No, this is ridiculous. Why can't she exchange it? This is a relationship. What this is
it's a dynamic between the brother and sister.
Between the brother and sister. There's a real power. It's like a power dynamic. Mm-hmm. She's kind of like
demanding.
She's like alphaing him.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch.
Yeah, and these are my kids. I mean, I get it. They're her kids. But to me, anyway, and I mean, of course we don't have kids, but to me, I read this and I'm like, he got the gift. He's done his...
He's done.
Yeah.
Once you get a gift, unless it's like, okay, let's say it's your wife. Let's say I get you a top and it's too small.
Okay.
I'll go deal with the logistics of getting you the new top. Like, that's just,
I mean, maybe, but to be honest... If this happened, I can't even imagine a world in which you get me a top. Actually, that's hilarious. Yeah. You buying me a top. What would the top you buy me look like, Andy?
Like the one you're wearing.
Really?
Yeah, same top.
This is the top.
Whatever you were wearing, I was going to say what you were wearing.
Okay. You thought of this top.
I don't know what top I would get you.
Yeah. Okay.
I would probably get you what do they call it? A romper?
Oh.
Yeah, you like rompers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would get you a romper in a very Sharleen color.
What's a Sharleen color?
Purple.
Oh, this is so cute. I love this game.
I get you a purple romper that somewhere on it had a little flower.
One lone flower?
Yeah,
it's not a floral print.
No, just a small flower.
Just one flower. Where's the flower located?
I'm thinking shoulder area, maybe.
A shoulder flower. One flower?
Yeah.
Does the flower have a stem?
No.
It's just a face of a flower.
Part.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a little abstract flower.
Is the flower printed onto the fabric, or is it like embroidered, or is it like a patch?
Oh, God. I think it's embroidered.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good exercise for you.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think if you bought me a purple romper with a flower on the shoulder and it was too small and I liked it, meaning I wished it weren't too small, I would assist you in exchanging it or like making it happen. Because to me, the gift giving is stressful. To me, gift giving is stressful.
Yeah, but this is the other thing.
You've done your part. Like, why is it now on you? Because it didn't fit correctly based on her measurements. She's the one with the son who said this should fit. Why is it his problem?
It's not. It's also, you're a full grown adult.
So is the sister.
This is a kid. First of all, the kid will forget about this jersey tomorrow. Just get him a new jersey.
The mom.
Yes. This is absurd.
Yeah. I think you're right. This is about the dynamic between brother and sister. And she hardly touched on it, Em.
I bet this...
Am I being too critical? Is this maybe just a reflection of other annoyances I have with her?
You know what this is? I bet you, I can write this whole story now. She is annoyed about her sister-in-law having a bossy dynamic with her husband.
Yeah.
I'm sure this sister is constantly telling the husband what to do in his life. I'm not sure, but I have a hunch.
Yeah. Or is just, acts like she's more important.
Yeah.
Like it's her way or the highway kind of thing. And what's interesting about that is I've never really noticed, like, because I don't have that relationship with my sisters and you don't with your sister, I've never really experienced that dynamic, but I have a friend who does experience a dynamic of like a weird relation, weird kind of more enmeshed relationship between her sister-in-law and her husband. And it's a big source of grief for her.
Sure.
Like it's really frustrating. And so I imagine, it's no different than having a frustrating mother-in-law. This family, what are you going to like get between them and their sister? Like,
Look,
that's
the
tough.
fact is, when you're a wife or a husband, you want to be the most important person in that person's life. That's kind of the point of marrying someone. I feel like that's important. Don't get married if you're not going to put your spouse as number one.
I think we're starting to make this something it's not, though. Em is not saying that she feels her husband puts his sister above her.
I'm saying that I think it gets annoying when you even have the inkling that another family member is being put above you.
She's protective of her husband. I will say it does seem like her husband's a lovely person.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lovely palate cleanser for this Q&A in general, because there are a lot of dishonest, shady men out there.
There are.
And
this guy's going and getting new. He's asking, what kind of jersey do you want? How about this one?
Yeah.
This guy is not looking at porn all the time.
No, he sounds sweet. And look, here's the thing. Do I think Em is going to completely change the dynamic between her husband and her sister-in-law? It's highly unlikely. No. And as long as he's not complaining about it, I feel like she can to herself think it's ridiculous. Yes. She can even voice that she thinks it's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, he seems willing to do it. If it's not bankrupting him or stressing him out, causing him to lose sleep, prematurely aging him, then maybe this is just, this can just be its own thing. She doesn't need to get involved.
I agree. And I think this is a classic reframe. The reframe here is not that I have an annoying sister-in-law who's bossy around my husband. It's that I have a unbelievably loving and sweet husband who's willing, uncle who's willing to go jersey digging for this nephew and not complain about it.
And find that to be quite endearing for what it is. Like, I feel that way about you sometimes, like some of the things that occupy your mind or entertain you. And at a glance you could, or, how you care for your mother, for example. There are times where I'm like, that doesn't feel like the best use of your time or of your talents, or like I feel that it's a strain on you, or it brings you down, or is like a source of stress for you. But the reframe, I love that you made it about reframing it, because you're right. The reframe of that is, what a lovely man I married.
Yeah. Focus on that.
Yeah.
Focus on that.
And because that also is something that Em has control over. The only thing she has control over here is how she perceives the situation.
Yeah. And also in these situations like this, I feel like, and this is a light question, clearly.
Yeah.
She's got, this Cadillac problems here. But she should see the humor in this. Like, it is kind of funny.
No, it's true. You add clown music to this. It's kind of funny.
The sister-in-law becomes a sort of like, rah, 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 rah. And her husband's like, another jersey.
Okay, do we think we answered this one then?
Yeah, I think this is a just let it go.
Yeah.
And enjoy your husband. Your husband's a sweet guy. He doesn't follow 50 Instagram models.
Right. And M, maybe
Or maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe that's another.
No. I think M maybe just even got some validation out of this.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, out of us totally agreeing.
Yeah, I think what she wanted to do is get some pleasure out of hearing us talk badly about her sister-in-law.
Ask and you shall receive. Okay, Andy, that is it for this Q&A. How are you feeling?
Feeling okay.
I love Q&As.
Yeah.
They get me, like, they recenter what this podcast is. And by the way, this is the last Q&A.
Last Q&A. This is the last Q&A.
Wow. Andy.
Our very last Q&A.
Ever?
Of 2024.
Very, very nice. And Andy, I think that's a wrap.
That's it.
Oh, already? Really?
I think they deserve some extra ruby.
Andy just said that you deserve some extra Ruby time. Oh.
No treats.
That's what no treats gets you.
Just pure love.
I'm trying to buy her love.
You'll get it back.
Will I?
You'll get it back.
My guilt has turned me into a treat dispensing machine.
Ruby, go to mommy. Go to mommy.
Ruby.
Go to mommy. Come on. She needs some love. Oh, dear.
This makes me sad.
Ruby, go to mommy.
She was originally mine.
Oh, I got licks. Go to mommy. Go to mommy. Mommy needs you.
Ruby.
Mommy needs you. Yeah, there you go. Good girl.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you got a knee lick.
Oh, a knee lick. Yeah, you're not used to that, are you?
Good.
If you enjoyed what you heard today, you know what we will ask of you, and that is to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram and
TikTok.
Leave us Apple and
Spotify.
Podcast ratings and reviews. Tell your friends and generally do all the things you would do to support a podcast you enjoy. Ruby, come back.
Come on. Good girl.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Dear Shandy. Bye-bye.